Sup, Forehead? Warframe kind of wrong foots you with the whole. But then you drop into your first mission to play the game and.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
If you'd like to know why you hit like a wet noodle in a bad dream, it's because you're not using
Mods.
But what the heck are mods and how the heck do you use them? Every mod in the game and where they drop can be found here in your codex. One of the things that makes the codex great is that it is a lookup table essentially. So you can search for something such as health, for example, and it will show you every single mod in the game associated with health. This menu is organized by category, so you can select Warframe, type in health, and see all mods associated with Warframes and health. This of course works with any effect that may come on a mod in the game, which makes it a little bit easier to look for mods you may need for a build, since you don't have to memorize the name of the mod itself, you just need to know what the mod does. Yours may look different to mine, but here is our mod page. As you can probably tell, this menu tries to bring across a lot. However, I'm going to make this a quick and easy summary. Your mod page is split between survivability stats and power stats. Comedic as it may be, the best way to think about your survivability stats is as a banana. Your health is the flesh of the banana. Your shields are the banana's skin, and your armor can best be understood as freezing the flesh of the banana. As you can probably tell, 3 of our power stats are rather self-explanatory. Duration makes things last longer, range makes things go further, strength makes things hit harder. The only one on the list that's not super self-explanatory is efficiency, which, to boil it down, makes powers cheaper. That's the whole gist of it, it just makes powers cheaper. Small addendum to mention the aura slot, which is a slot specifically for passive mods that go on all Warframes. And some of them can strip a bit of armor or return energy to you. You receive most aura mods from the Nightwave credit shop, which can be found at the bottom right of your screen on your pause menu. Now, if you sat through all that looking like this guy, I sympathize. While none of this is super straightforward, it's also not all that complex. Really, for Warframes, just focus on survivability until you get to a point where you can afford to care about what your powers actually do. Going back to our mod page, there are a few interesting things here that we should note. First of all, mod capacity. As you can see, this Excalibur Umbra is level 30. Warframes and weapons max out at level 30, and at level 30 they have 30 mod points. This 30 can be doubled to 60 with the use of a gold Orokin reactor or a blue Orokin catalyst for Warframes and weapons respectively. Once you get to a point where you're using more advanced builds, you can utilize the Forma to half the capacity cost of a single mod slot. So a mod that would cost you 14 mod points will only cost you 7 if you use a slot with a Forma. Now we get to a hyperspeed crash course of weapon modding. So there are 10 elemental damage types in Warframe and 3 physical damage types. The 4 you see here can be described as our base elementals. From left to right, we have heat, cold, electric, and toxin. Heat damage will stun enemies, do damage over time, and weaken armor. Cold damage slows enemies down, and when enough is applied, it will freeze them solid. Electric damage will stun enemies. And finally, toxin damage, which will do direct damage over time to enemies' health, bypassing shields. Each base elemental can be combined to create the combined elementals, which are corrosive, which is good against armor, blast, which causes localized explosions around the enemy and knocks them down, magnetic damage, which increases damage to enemy shields and overguard, viral damage, which increases damage to health, radiation damage, which makes enemies fight each other, and gas damage, which, when enemies die, they explode into gas clouds that deal damage to enemies around them. Combining elementals on the mod page is based on what position you put the mod in, reading left to right, top to bottom. For sake of example, adding a cold mod here creates blast damage, and adding an electricity mod after that creates blast electricity. If I was to switch it to this slot here, it creates radiation cold damage. Mini weapons also come with the 3 physical damage types. Impact damage, which is better against shields. Puncture damage, which makes enemies more vulnerable to critical hits. And slash damage, which deals direct damage over time to health. I don't blame you if you're sitting here looking at this video like this. But to boil down weapon modding, number go up equal good.